SabesWings has inspired me in many different ways. I think the strongest inspiration that I've had with SabesWings is seeing how many people it affected cancer-wise. And when you're going through cancer, it's already tough enough to deal with that with a family and not knowing if the loved one is gonna get through the cancer. I think that's always the most scariest part. And then when we do talk with the family and just seeing their emotion, but then again, when you add the fact that they don't have enough money to go through what they need to go through to get the loved one healthy again. I think seeing the family members and talking with the family is always the toughest thing, and it really inspires us to do even more for people.
My journey with cancer feels like it was half my life, really, to be quite honest. I was nursing my now 13-year-old, and I realized something wasn't right. And I called my doctor, went in and did all of the appropriate scans, the mammogram, the MR, and then a biopsy. And obviously from there I had the diagnosis. I was misdiagnosed with a different form of cancer than my second and third diagnoses. So we believe that we were always treating inappropriately.
In 2018, Kandace was diagnosed for the third time, and we were in Chicago. She didn't call me and tell me when we talked on the phone prior to her coming. She wanted to tell me in person.
I didn't really know how to deal with it at that point because I felt like that was doomsday. I don't know how many people actually go through it the first or the second time, but the third time I was done. I was done with treatments and I was tired, and I was giving up pretty quickly. On the other end, I had Bret, who we had started this beautiful relationship together. We had just shared the I love you moment and knew that we were planning to spend the rest of our lives together. But knowing the path that I had already been on, I didn't really feel like it was appropriate for him or fair to him to come with me on that journey.
That was very emotional, and I basically told her, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna do whatever we have to do to get through this. We went to dinner that night to Illuminati's. We had some pizza, and I think everybody in the restaurant thought that I don't know what was going on with me, because I really couldn't keep it together that whole entire night. Very tearful, very emotional.
The very next day, I had planned to say, you know, this journey is quite arduous and I'm not asking you to come on it with me. And he, in addition to being just the wonderful person he is, asked me for coffee. He said, let's go get coffee. And we passed 4 Starbucks along the way. And finally I said, where is this mythical coffee place that we're going to? And we pulled into the Diamond District in downtown Chicago. And instead of breaking ties with him, he asked me to marry him. And got down right on his knee in the middle of the store, and I think we had a lot of oohs and ahs that day. It was a magical time for us. But what it did for me was it made me feel like I had a partner that was willing to go through the journey knowing how difficult it might be and still willing to go through the trenches. And I was still hesitant. I didn't like the feeling of vulnerability. I didn't show vulnerability to my children when I was going through treatments. I didn't show that toward my coworkers. I didn't like that weakness. And what I've learned and what's really happened with just Bret and my relationship in general is that you learn more in weakness than you do in strength. And so while he says that I was strong through it all, he allowed me to be weak, and I got to grow from that. And that was a beautiful thing.
So when she first broke me the news that she had cancer, I was really young, so I immediately thought death, you know? And so as I watched her battle through everything, the highs and the lows, it really just showed me courage and like perseverance.
It was just always nice to have a rock, I'd say. I'd say Bret was, you know, the rock in that situation. And like Leighton said, I don't think we could have done it without him. There's no possible way, and it's more than money, it's more than time, it's just the love that he gave everybody in the situation, for sure.
Kandace has been an inspiration to me just with her strength. For someone to go through cancer, not just once, but 3 times and 4 different treatments, it's amazing.
Kandace has inspired me just by seeing the love that she gives my dad, but also the work she puts in this foundation. It's remarkable. I mean, we're taking big strides, and it's admirable to see the work that she's put in and just how caring she is. She loves her family, and she's been an inspiration to me with the ideas that she's had with SabesWings, and also just giving back to the community is truly remarkable and inspiring to see.
You know, I look at Kandace as a warrior. She looks at cancer and any other circumstance in front of her and goes above it. She never stops. She uses it as a tool, and she is an advocate. She hasn't let her story take her down. It's helped define her, and it's helped her grow. And she and Bret together have used that for this organization. That fuel is what inspires me, watching her individually and collectively working with her family and her husband is an inspiration in itself.
Getting our family members involved with our nonprofit SabesWings was something that we really wanted to do, to show them how to give back, why you should give back, and the feeling that you really get by giving back to so many. And I think that was our biggest purpose for getting the younger kids involved that we have. And we've also have another board member that isn't family, but she's outside family, that we're just trying to create that legacy, as she says, for them to kind of understand what you should do in life.
My role at SabesWings is I'm a board member, and I help find families who are dealing with financial toxicity and needing assistance in paying medical bills that have cancer. SabesWings has changed me by being able to give a lasting impression on certain families. You know, there's the old cliche that you're not remembered for what you did or how much money you made, but the lasting impressions that you gave on people and how you made them feel. And with what we're doing, I truly believe in it. SabesWings being able to give back to the community and some of these families that are struggling not only with being diagnosed with cancer, that's a lot in itself, but also being able to financially help them out, because there's a lot of debt that comes with that and a lot of medical bills that can bring even more stress than already an extremely stressful situation. So it's truly inspiring to be able to help out families in need.
The mission of SabesWings is so important to me because it's not only an epidemic, it's a pandemic when we look at the effect of medical financial toxicity, whether it's with cancer specifically, or whether it's someone that's going through a realm of diabetes. Medical treatment's expensive. Specifically to cancer, no one plans for cancer. No one has that set aside income to cover living expenses. And what SabesWings does is really come in and lifts those needs of others, and it's impacted our community, it's impacted our nation, and SabesWings is there to lift.
The moment our grant recipient was out of Oklahoma, it was somebody from Toby Keith's Corral. Jeffy the Brave, he 4 years old, half of his life spending in the hospital going through cancers, different types of different treatments to get him better. And seeing video of him and hearing his story, he didn't have a care in the world. He just was a fun-loving kid and had no idea what was going on and why he was in the hospital. But to see the mom and dad and knowing that they had some help to get them out of their financial burden that the cancer had caused was just a tremendous uplifting for us, knowing that we were making a difference for them.
I think about cancer every day, and back when I was first diagnosed, what was going through my head was, I'm going to die. Doing treatment and living alone and not having any family. I really didn't think I could do it. I was at my breaking point. SabesWings has lifted me up by, again, helping me with my bills, because there's no way I could afford treatment. I would have probably been in bankruptcy, and then that would have been disastrous because now I have cancer again. My friendship with Kandace has helped me come to terms with what's happening to me. If she can go through what she's been through and still have this fantastic attitude and the organization and just living her life, because I've had a hard time doing that. And watching her do that has meant a lot, because it's helped me with my attitude. And again, thank you to everyone who's helped. I mean, even her, I know her son, thank you to everyone who's put it all together and set everything up.
My hope for SabesWings is for everybody to understand and be aware of what medical financial toxicity is. Moreover, once they're aware and we've educated appropriately, I don't want to turn away one person who files for a grant through our organization. I think that would be my greatest hope for SabesWings.
But without the support and the donations from everybody, this locomotive doesn't move at all. So we always are so thankful for the people that get involved with SabesWings, the donations that come through the website, through going to an event. So those people are really the heart and soul of SabesWings. We can only do so much, but without the support from everybody out there, that really makes this train roll. So we thank everybody for that.
Well said.
Love you.